Let me tell you a story about a guy who did everything right. He studied late nights, took a massive student loans, and finally got his 4-year university degree. He got the office job he was promised, but one day he looks across his desk at a coworker. This coworker never went to a college. He learned his skills through self-directed learning, just experimenting with new tools on his laptop. Here is a twist of the story. The boss walks in and hands out a massive promotion. It doesn't go to the guy with the expensive degree, it goes to the coworker without one. The guy with the degree is left behind, stuck at the entry level salary. The truth isn't hidden, it's just not explained. Once upon a time, society gave us a very simple promise. You were told that a college degree was a golden ticket. If you had it, you were safe. If you didn't, you are stuck. Because everyone believed this story, millions of people rushed to get their hands on this ticket. But when everyone has the exact same ticket, it stops being special. Suddenly, a bachelor's degree wasn't enough. People had to go back to schools to get the master's degree, taking a heavy piles of debt just to stand out. And meanwhile, companies started doing something unfair. They built what we call a paper ceiling. They started demanding degrees for jobs that never used them. Imagine being a brilliant worker who learned how to code in their bedroom, or an amazing organizer who worked their way up from the bottom. It didn't matter if you didn't have that expensive piece of paper from the university, HR wouldn't even let you through the front doors. The piece of paper became a shield, but shields can be broken. Then, just a few years ago, a new character entered our story: artificial intelligence. AI changed everything because AI doesn't care about your college diploma. It only cares about jobs to be done. When AI hit the job market, things started moving too fast. In fields using AI, the skills that you actually needed to do the job are now changing faster than before. Think about that. By the time a university writes a textbook, gets it approved, and teaches it to a freshman, that information is already outdated by the time they graduate. And the smartest bosses around the world saw something terrifying. The paper shield was useless now. They realized they didn't need someone who spent 4 years sitting in a lecture hall. They needed people who could open a laptop, learn new AI tool over the weekend, and use it on Monday. And that brings us to the new heroes of our story. We call them stars. That stands for skilled through alternate routes. There are over 70 million of these people. They didn't take traditional paths. They are self-learners. They watched YouTube tutorials. They took short online courses. They learned on the job, or they worked with their hands. Companies are finally waking up and smashing the paper ceiling to hire these stars. Why? Because when you hire someone based on their actual skills instead of their degree, they do a better job and they stay with the company longer. This is exactly why stars are seeing their paychecks jump. The world is realizing that real practical skills are more valuable than theory. So, how does your story end? For a long time, you hid behind your degree. You thought buying a piece of paper meant you bought a secure future. But the truth is, the paper is just an illusion. In this new world, nobody cares what you did 4 years ago. They care about what you can build, fix, or create today. So finally, the system sold you a degree as safety. Then it changed the rules after you paid for it. You heard it, now think about it. This is the null theory.